transmitter technology is available only in 4 countries of the world. So we had to collaborate with a company in USA, there is Continental Electronics. And for this mega infrastructure, we collaborated internally within L&T with L&T PT&D division. And we completed this project on record time. Record time because we wanted to be in record time to cut down on cost and do it faster.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of FaceTime with Leaders by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Today's conversation is truly special. We have with us a leader whose journey is a rare combination of national service, global exposure, and corporate excellence. I'm honored to introduce Commodore Sushil Kumar Patel, a distinguished technocrat, a decorated naval officer, and a business strategist who has spent over 4 decades shaping industries, influencing defense modernization, and building organizational excellence. From leading multi-billion dollar projects in collaboration with global giants like Dassault and Thales, from scaling businesses exponentially at L&T Reliance and Marine Electricals, it's an absolute privilege to have you here with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I'm truly delighted to be here. I look forward to sharing my journey and engaging in this conversation. Thank you very much.
Wow. So, what's so inspiring about your journey, sir, is how you've seamlessly navigated between the worlds of national defense, international project management, and strategic business leadership, always with a sharp focus on growth, transformation, and building for the future. So, I'm so excited to having this conversation with you today. So, let's get started.
Yes.
Commodore Patel, before we get into the many leadership lessons from your incredible journey, I'd love to start right at the beginning. If you could take us through your career in your own words, the early foundations, the transitions, the experiences that shaped you. We'd love to hear how it all unfolded from your perspective.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I'm an electrical engineer from Odisha with masters from IIT Madras and MBA from Mysore University.
Wow.
My career spans 41 years, including 25 years in the Indian Navy
Mm-hmm.
and 16 years in the Indian industry. Now, I'm heading the electrical marine business of my company, Marine Electricals, which is
Wow.
a listed company, is a public limited company since 2018,
Wow.
and the company has existed for last 46 years. A short brief about my family. My wife is a art of living senior teacher, and
Wow.
my only son and daughter-in-law are engineers turned finance professionals from I am Ahmedabad and I am Kolkata respectively. They are indirect influencer of my life. Therefore, I made a passing mention. I have been fortunate in the Navy to have a mixed experience of R&D, 5 years, training, few years, operations and maintenance, 10 years,
Mhm.
shipbuilding abroad in Eastern Europe, 5 years, and high value global procurement, policy advocacy at national level, and governance of defense PSUs at the apex level for almost 2 years plus.
Right.
5 years of eventful applied R&D role immediately after my master's in IIT Madras
Mm-hmm.
got me the sole gold medal of the Indian Navy for applied research in weapon systems integration.
Wow.
5 years experience in St. Petersburg, Russia was for overseeing construction of state-of-art stealth frigates from
Wow.
design to commissioning and interacting with a host of equipment OEMs
Mm-hmm.
for quality inspections, adaptation to Indian Navy's operational doctrine, etc.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is the place where I got real deep insight into companies' functioning, their rules and regulations, governance mechanisms, and how international relationships happen. Lastly, towards the end of my naval career, I headed the Directorate of Weapon Equipment at Naval
Mhm.
Headquarters, in charge of procurement of weapon systems for the entire Navy and their
Wow.
maintenance infrastructure. In addition, policy initiatives of weapon systems was dealt by me. It is here that I interacted with global top weapon manufacturers
Mhm.
and negotiated as a competent financial authority in the MOD's language.
Mhm.
Here I practiced funds management,
Right.
transparency in procurement process,
Mhm.
including financial scrutiny, audit, and participated in corporate governance of the defense PSUs. I'm indeed indebted to the Indian Navy for the rich and balanced exposure that made me truly ready for entering the corporate world. My corporate tenure began with Rolta India Limited.
Mhm.
I was selected as a vice president,
Wow.
new initiatives, and there I was the sole vice president in my whole department, and I was expected to start a new venture, that is naval and maritime safety and security business vertical. So I had to start with team building, the
Right.
training, vendor qualification of
Right.
our equipment that Rolta had. All this I did in collaboration with a company called Thales in France.
Mm.
It was a
Mhm.
joint venture.
Mhm.
While we did all that well, knowing Rolta doesn't have deep pockets, and soon patients or promoters will run jittery with mounting expenses, I also focused on some low gestation bids that got us some cash flow going.
Wow.
One of the major, cash flow project was the gun systems integration for the Coast Guard. We
Mhm.
did it well on time, and we also got our cash flow going, and that got us a brand uh, as a successful, organization builder.
Right.
During
Right.
our short-term success, not even 2 years, less than 2 years, short-term success. And at that point in time, Larsen and Toubro, L&T, had some difficulties in their business unit in Bangalore. It was not doing well.
Mhm.
So they picked me for their Bangalore business unit.
Right.
And Bangalore business unit had already run for 5 years, and they were doing barely 50 crores per annum with
Mhm.
about 50-member team, which is
Mhm.
quite low in the industry average.
Right.
On
Right.
joining there, I observed that people are superb in talent, experience, doing excellent product development work with DRDO labs. But
Mhm.
how they're not able to click the revenue, because
Right.
of which the BU head was fired and morale was sagging.
Mhm.
So I had a tough challenge. Nonetheless, we carved out a small project team existing from the existing pool of resources, trained them for operational project costing, targeted attempting high value project bids, in
Mhm.
addition to the ongoing DRDO development work.
Right.
As our luck and strategy both favored us, with this, we could manage to clinch a VLF transmitter project worth 1,700 crores. It was a
Wow.
big project in that time,
Right.
and which entailed a 472-meter tall steel lattice antenna, almost half a kilometer tall, which was unique in this part of the world.
Right.
And this
Right.
VLF transmitter technology is available only in 4 countries of the world. So we had to collaborate with a company in USA, there is Continental Electronics. And
Mhm.
for this mega infrastructure, we collaborated internally within L&T with L&T PT&D division, and we completed this project on record time. Record time because we wanted to be in record time to cut down on cost and do it faster.
Right.
And
Right.
this project had a 20 years annual maintenance contract that
Oh.
continued giving us 15 to 20 crores every year
Every
to
year.
sustain the expenses of the business unit. Therefore, we turn around the company from 15 crore per annum to 160 crore per annum within a span of 1.5 years. It was a
Wow.
big achievement and gave a lot of personal satisfaction to me as well as to the team. And thereafter, we clicked many more small projects, and we still doing damn well. As it happened, I also got noticed in the business world by Reliance. And Reliance was looking for a BU head at that point in time. And it is a subsidiary company of Reliance called Reliance Defense Systems and Technology. In brief, we
Okay.
call it RDST.
Okay.
And RDST was at that point in time headed by Dr. Tamil Mani, who was the ex DG DRDO for aerospace, and
Right.
he was also ex chief executive of Semilac. Semilac is a quality agency for aerospace products.
Okay. Okay.
So that time, though it was a technology business unit supposed to do pure technological work and support all other subsidiary companies of Reliance ADA Group.
Right.
Big thing that was happening at that point in time is Dassault Reliance Aerospace Limited, DRAL.
Okay.
Dassault, this Dassault Dassault Reliance joint venture has been much talked about in the industry. And the
Right.
biggest challenge we had was 30,000 crores of offset were to be procured from Indian companies. And that was a big challenge. So
Right.
having got industry experience, we really did a deep study of the industries in all over India, mostly in Hyderabad and south of India, and identified 50 plus MSMEs and startup companies who could do something or other in a build to print B2P manner from Dassault. And
Right.
Dassault is the integrator, and they had the major three OEMs: Thales, Safran, and MBDA, and
Mhm.
also their tier one and tier two supply chains. And we
Okay.
could, set this offset, going. And once this happened well,
Mhm.
and we know that Reliance Communication did not do well, and because of that, the Reliance ADA empire shrunk rapidly. And I
Mhm.
was also catching up my age. I was 59 years, and
Mhm.
at that point in time, the promoter of Marine Electricals noticed and called me to join their company as head of business for electrical marine business. So I
Right.
joined Marine Electrical, and to note, we have increased company's revenue from 272 crores in 2020 to now 666 crores
Wow.
in last March. So
Wow.
more than 2.5 times. And the initiatives were new products adding to our basket and
Mhm.
some lateral developments and focusing on export as well as enhancing the sales of our existing products. In fact, I have been writing the annual reports, management discussion and analysis part myself, narrating the
Wow.
company strategy and message to the stakeholders. And recently, we have got company certified as by DNV for ESG compliance. ESG
Oh,
compliance is very important nowadays
right.
because this has got a lot many stakes for the company being public limited, and it
Right.
is a parameter where financing agencies and bankers also give an importance for ESG compliance.
Right. Right.
This is all
Wow.
in short about my naval career, ma'am. Over to you.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that with us so candidly, sir. And at times when people are thanking their mentors, the companies that they've worked with, they forget to thank their family. And you clearly, talked about your family, your wife, your son and daughter-in-law. So that's really nice to hear from you, sir. And
Thank
it's
you, ma'am.
incredible to hear how these experiences have built a foundation for the impact that you continue to make today. So thank you
Thank you
for
so much.
sharing that with us. So
Thank you, ma'am.
moving on,
Yeah, yeah.
Commodore Patel, expanding the electrical and NAVCOM business at Marine Electricals would have been
Hmm.
challenging even in the best of times. But doing it
Hmm.
during the uncertainty of COVID-19 is truly remarkable, sir. I'd love to hear from you. How do you personally lead through those uncertain times, keep operations
Ye-
steady, and still drive growth when everything around us was changing so rapidly?
Yes, a very good question, very close to my heart because we did it ourselves with a lot of passion.
Right.
Uncertainty of COVID-19 was unprecedented. All of us
Absolutely.
are scared. We did not know what is going to unfold. So we were over prepared and over conscious about what we should do.
Right.
So what we did is, I'll summarize in just 5 points. First thing we saw is that what we should do in supply chain so that we do not get stuck because of lack of material.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that we have got a big dependency on semiconductors, PLCs, ICs, and some memory devices,
Right.
which came from generally from Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and all that.
Mhm.
And we also saw, interestingly, is that they also wanted to sell at the fastest because they also were afraid of COVID, and they were
Agreed.
worried about stocks lying with them without getting used. So
Right.
we stocked up almost for 2 years stock what we needed, and
Mm-hmm.
this was the first thing that we did. Then we saw people getting afraid about what is going to happen in COVID.
COVID.
So we shortlisted about 80 people who are important for doing our work, already there with us in the company. And
Mm-hmm.
we reorganized the available space in the company for their living inside the campus,
Oh,
and
okay.
with bare minimum, bed, living, locker, and food, 3 meals a day. And we
Mm-hmm.
kept them captive, made their morale high, did not allow them to go anywhere out. All the requirements were made inside the factory. Third
Right.
thing that we did is, that is our good luck, in fact, though we worked for it, that is, there was a government list for essential services, agencies. And we saw that airports and ports, the harbors were also part of essential services. And
Right.
we were supplying the radars and all the navigation equipment for Mumbai Port Trust. Therefore, on approaching Mumbai Port Trust, we got approval for essential services company. The
Wow.
moment we
Okay.
got that, we could get the appropriate essential services identity cards for about 20 people of our company who could
Mm-hmm.
manage anything outdoor. Outdoor means
Outdoor.
logistics, supply chain
Right.
matters,
Of course.
dispatches, and things like that. This was a
Mm-hmm.
big boon to us. Fourth point
Right.
that we did is, we knew that only production, quality, and testing people are required on the floor. Rest all, there is accounts, purchase, admin, your IT, everybody. We said you have to be at your home, and we supplied their own computers to the home. Set up VPN connections, and
Right.
we also bought a software from a Bangalore-based company for work from home, time monitoring and logging
Right.
monitoring and their work
Right.
efficiency, and moved on so that the entire, I'll say, 60% of the employees were at home. They were not required to come at all. And we
Mm-hmm.
also had plans for MS Team meetings and Zoom meetings and many other similar tools for doing our regular meetings on a
Right.
daily basis.
Right.
In addition, one thing we did for the first time is we did a system called remote inspection. That is, our
Oh.
export customers could inspect through cameras and video collaboration the
Mm-hmm.
products that is happening in our factory and do a remote
Right.
inspection. They didn't have to come to our place.
Right.
And the last one, which also became a boon to us, courtesy the government's grant, is that government was looking for vaccination centers.
Right.
We made some place available in our factory
Factory.
as a vaccination center, did all the preliminary requirements, and government approved as a vaccination center. Thereby, our workers did not have to go to any vaccination center to take the vaccination when it came, and they could get vaccinated in the premises itself. These are the 5 salient measures which really got us through. And in fact, ma'am, you'll be surprised. Our revenues increased in COVID time rather than getting reduced,
Wow.
because export
Wow.
orders increased a lot because they
Right.
were looking for people who can deliver in the COVID time, and we could do that. There is a big advantage to us. We also used to maintain hygienic control
Of
measures and
course.
sanitation in our
Right.
premises,
Right.
which took us through. Over to you, ma'am.
Right.
This is all I would like to
Wow.
convey for COVID.
Wow, that's so inspiring, sir. And it's incredible to
Mm.
hear how leadership under pressure isn't just about steering operations, it's about keeping people and purpose aligned even in the toughest
Yes,
times. So
yes,
thank
very
you
true,
for
ma'am. Very
sharing
true.
that. And it's and you know the steps that you took, and it gives such a great example of how you should not panic under pressure and how to think strategically and get the work done. So that's wonderful.
Very true. Very true, ma'am.
So overseeing defense procurement policies and weapon systems integration must have involved navigating complex governance frameworks, sir, right? So,
Yes,
what
yes.
personal discipline or belief helped you lead with integrity through such detailed and sensitive work?
Um, Thank you for this question. In this journey, what really worked for me well was inclusive collaboration. Inclusive collaboration, I'd like to emphasize a little more.
Right,
Apart from inclusive collaboration, proficiency, that is the subject knowledge,
right, right.
honesty, integrity, transparency because of procurement,
Mm-hmm.
and most importantly, aligning the governance requirements and expectations of wide range of companies from the global giants like Thales, MBDA, Safran, etc., to the defense PSUs here like Bharat Electronics and HAL, to the
Mm-hmm.
small MSME and startup companies in India. So
Right,
aligning to their governance requirements and expectations was very, very important, apart from inclusive collaboration.
right.
And these challenges of governance were very critical in my journey because I'll give some examples.
Mm-hmm.
Defense procurement has challenges of customized products.
Okay.
Hardly any product will be available off the shelf. They are made to
Right.
order. They're made to
Made
order.
to it.
And
Agree.
they've got a long lead time of production and high cost due to advanced technology and lot size issues, MOQ issues,
Right.
minimum order quantity
Order
issues.
quantity.
So
Mm-hmm.
they all, because of this, they require meticulous planning and management to
Right,
optimize the cost and stock level.
right.
The supply chain is so diverse and spread globally
Mm-hmm.
across India, Russia, Europe, and USA, meeting the governance compliance of the OEMs or advanced countries, their end use certification which they require, and adherence to fair practices was very, very necessary.
Right.
The procurement process audit also demands transparency,
Mm-hmm.
ethical decision making, and adherence to laid down standards.
Mm-hmm.
The continuous innovation is also necessary because obsolescence keeps happening. So, obsolescence management, import substitution,
Right.
indigenization,
Mm-hmm.
and weapon systems integration of diverse technologies is also a challenge for indigenous technology development, vendor promotion, MSME and startup promotion, and
Mm-hmm.
their encouragement through various schemes. Being principal director of weapon equipment in the Navy, I was also closely associated with Defense PSU's governance framework and as a co-opted members of their advisory committee.
Right.
Therefore, in this particular matter, inclusive collaboration with the vendors who are globally spread and their rules and regulations and compliance requirements was very, very important.
Very important.
Over to you, ma'am.
Wow, wow. That is such a powerful reminder, sir, being transparent, being truthful, and leadership with integrity, especially in complex environments, truly sets the foundation for trust and long-term impact.
Yes.
So, Commodore Patel, what really stands out about your journey is how you've not only built businesses from the ground up, but also turned around units that others had upon.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and in today's world where volatility is almost become constant, many entrepreneurs and business leaders are struggling to find a steady ground while trying to learn from everything you've led and built. What advice would you offer to those who are trying to grow sustainably without losing resilience along the way?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the very valid question and very valid important question.
Right,
Volatility and dynamically changing environment are the order of the day. We have to accept it.
right, right.
Therefore, we need to match our strategy accordingly to achieve sustained revenue, profits, and growth.
Right.
My learning and advice in nutshell is that there is no fixed formula for winning. Let's accept.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We need to be proficient, agile, analyze the opportunities in hand,
Right.
select right technology partners for our dependencies, and focus on a mixed strategy benefiting the available finances, manpower, talent we have, and train and groom them, and take a well calculated decision.
Right.
This is the advice which cannot be undermined, right? Now,
Absolutely.
to give some example, let me first start with a single line phrase: destiny favors the bold. So therefore, one has to take a
Bold
decision
decisions.
well
Right.
calculated with
Right.
proper due diligence. My
Agreed.
experience with L&T Strategic Electronics Center Business Unit is one of the examples.
Right.
People were good. They were all highly talented and doing their job well, and they're doing with DRDO co-development. But all of us know that product development is a long gestation work, and
Mm-hmm.
DRDO orders are scanty, one or two
Right.
orders. With
Right.
that, you cannot earn money and run the
Agreed.
business unit unless you get a series production order for the armed forces.
Agreed.
So therefore, when I joined, I could see this, and we found I'll say, mechanism of attempting the execution projects, and
Mm-hmm.
in addition to product development, and
Mm-hmm.
thus we got the huge VLF transmitting station order, and then took
Right.
us through. But this is one example. This example will not apply to everybody. This came
Everyone.
our way. We encashed it well with our right strategy and right mechanism, and we did it well. Similarly, in Rolta India Limited, my experience, it is a small company,
Right.
and they wanted to develop a naval and maritime security, safety and security business vertical. But
Mm-hmm.
after 2 years, again, company's patience runs out. So
Right.
therefore, we
Right.
have to, as leaders, find ways of getting our cash flow going and also doing the core development work for which we have started the business unit.
Right.
That's why I say that my learning and advice is there's no formula for winning. We have to be proficient, agile, and see the situation in our hand and do a strategy accordingly. That's all.
Right.
Thank
Right.
you. Thank you very
Right.
much.
Wow, that's so incredibly valuable, sir. And it's not about parts. It's about building with resilience, purpose, and
Yes.
hearing it from someone who's lived it makes a real difference. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you, ma'am.
So, Commodore Patel, after everything you've accomplished from national defense to leadership to corporate transformation, I imagine the horizon still feels full of opportunities. So, as you look ahead, whether it's mentoring the future leaders, shaping long-term strategy, into more formal boardroom roles, what is the kind of impact that you still, feel you need to make in the years ahead?
Yes. Ma'am, I have been performing a kind of CEO's role since 2015 at
Right,
Reliance
right.
as head of RDST
Mm-hmm.
till now, and mentoring mid-level managers and HODs with care and affection. Business strategies are unique for every
Right.
specific situation. There is
Agreed.
no single strategy which will work in every place, right?
Right. Right.
So moving from here, when I talk about stepping into boardroom roles, I feel a board member should be knowledgeable
Mm-hmm.
and experienced enough, so much so that while overseeing 100% regulatory compliances,
Mm-hmm.
should be able to look beyond the horizon in the
Right.
domain he serves.
Right.
He should be realistic, be able to assess and recognize the potential of both the organization and the personnel, advise way ahead for the new uncharted path with adequate due diligence. Most important of all are the trust, ethics, character, and the rich, friendly contacts of lifetime. We have got a huge amount of contacts in our various services, in last
Right.
40 years, right?
Right.
And automatically you get opportunity for connecting the dots and created during our lifetime to benefit the company we serve and also the people.
Right.
It is very important to be humane,
Mhm.
respectful to others, and also remain grounded to keep the learning curve upward and shining. It's very, very important because as we age, we tend to forget learning new things.
Learning.
We must
Right.
learn something new every day,
Every day.
right?
Absolutely.
There is no substitute for humility. We have to be
Correct.
respectful,
Right.
and it propagates and multiplies the aura and positive vibes beyond imagination.
Right.
I feel the duties, responsibilities, and challenges of board members are going to be more stringent in the years to come, and one
Mhm.
needs to gear up to meet the growing expectations. That's
Agree.
all I have to say here, man. Thank you so much.
Wow. Wow, that's so inspiring, sir. And it's so powerful to hear your vision continues to evolve with such clarity and commitment to purpose. And, I believe that the vast experience that you have, I'm sure you'll have great impact on any boardroom you're a part of. So
Thank you,
thank
man.
you
Thank you
so
so
much
much.
for sharing this with us. So, sir, across your career, whether in defense programs or corporate leadership, governance has always been a foundational element. And we've talked a lot about governance throughout the interview. But in today's world, where decisions are under constant scrutiny and expectations from boards are higher than ever, how do you see corporate governance evolving? In what, in your view, separates strong governance from just good intentions?
This is a very good question close to my heart, ma'am. Corporate governance has been rapidly evolving, in my opinion.
Right.
As I recall, in my young days when we passed the engineering, big corporates were very few. They were
Mhm.
mostly public sector units and
Right.
a few private companies dominated by renowned business houses like
Agreed.
Tatas, Birlas, Dalmias,
Right.
Bajaj, maybe Jindals,
Right.
and so on. So the corporate governance was predominantly dictated by government regulations
Hmm.
and organizational values which these business houses gave.
Gave. Right.
Shareholders' spectrum was very narrow.
Right.
Employee awareness was, and their rights and responsibilities were blurred. With the end of India's license Raj and growth of business collaborations globally,
Hmm.
growing influences of United Nations facilitated organizations like WTO, World Bank, etc.,
Right.
and convergence of multiple nations' legal and moral values, ethics,
Hmm.
and rapid growth of many foreign and domestic institutional investors and large spread of stakeholders spectrum has all led to a host of governance refinements and transparency measures
Right.
to
Right.
safeguard the stakeholders and employees' interests. So, therefore, there has been a distinct change from my young days till to date.
Agreed.
The phenomenon is expected to grow further rapidly year on year, and the governance is going to be more defined, more streamlined, transparent, and demanding.
Right.
With over with ever-growing international business alignments,
Hmm.
increasing competition, and presence of global mix in most ventures will demand the governance to be more effective, subject to
Right.
stringent scrutiny and audit.
Right.
At the same time, good governance is key to success,
Hmm.
efficiency, and sustainability of our organization. It's not a
Right.
pain. It is a very helpful practice.
Right.
The world is full of yes men, ma'am, who are often pleasant but can blur the invisible risks and cause imminent danger to the company's prospects. So, yes men are quite dangerous, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Growing competitions and resulting pressures also have their impact on governance. Therefore,
Hmm.
there would be stronger demand of knowledgeable, experienced, upright, and far-sighted board members. We know how to sensitize, who know how to sensitize the leadership and show the right direction with due humility. Progressively, governance will become part of organization culture rather than a checklist. This is my opinion, ma'am. Over to
Right,
you.
absolutely, sir. And I do believe that governance is instead of considering governance as a obstacle, it should be treated as an enabler. And
It is.
you
It
know,
is.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you're you were given such grounded and thoughtful perspective, sir. And it truly comes alive when it's tied to values, ethics, and not just regulations. And it's so powerful to hear from someone who's led across such high stake environments.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
thank
Thank
you
you.
so much for sharing this with us. So, Commodore Patel, before
Yeah.
we close, I have to touch on something closer to home for us. You recently joined Directors Institute, and
Mhm.
given your distinguished career and everything you've achieved so far, I'm curious, how has this experience been so far for you? And how has it, added value to your new phase of leadership?
Yeah. Truly speaking, I'm aware of the initiatives of Directors Institute,
Hmm.
Ministry of Corporate Affairs learning modules for directors also have seen and gone through.
Okay.
I'm aware of KPMG initiatives because I was a regular writer for KPMG.
Okay. Wow.
And also there is an agency called Institute of Directors and many
Hmm.
such, promoting agencies.
Right.
As a head of entire mainstream electrical marine business of my public limited company, I'm
Hmm.
aware of corporate governance, ESG compliance, and practicing the company management on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
However, I felt this is the time also to get formally educated in a structured manner with the latest governance education and
Right.
get connected with a broader network of directors
Network. Agreed.
and the CEOs, the director of Directors Institute is facilitating.
Hmm.
Apart from accelerated opportunity to serve the industry at board level, it will be great to get connected to the wider spectrum of leadership.
Absolutely.
Amongst these agencies which I mentioned, I found Directors Institute to be more professional, globally visible, and well networked. Therefore, I joined the ACDP program and gave a direction to my journey ahead, despite being a full-time demanding employment.
Right. Wow. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing that so openly, sir. And thank you so much for wonderful feedback. And as we were talking about continuously learning earlier, when you talked about when you were
Yes.
giving an advice, so it really, inspires us to see that a person like yourself who's had such great and vast experience of so many years across so many, companies, and you're still open to learn something new and enhance your skills. So that's truly inspiring to hear. And it's also rewarding that the Institute is helping leaders like yourself extend your impact even further. So thank you so much for sharing that feedback with us.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
So Commodore Patel, it has been a true privilege having you with us today on FaceTime with Leaders. Your journey, your insights, and the depth of experience you bring have given all of us a lot to reflect upon, not just about leadership, about resilience, vision, and growth across industries.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. I truly enjoyed sharing my experiences, and I hope the conversation added value to everyone listening. It has been a pleasure being part of this platform. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. The pleasure has been ours. And to our audience, thank you for being with us today. If you found inspiration in today's discussion, stay tuned for more conversations with leaders who are shaping industries and redefining leadership. This is Charu Mehra signing off. Until next time, take care and keep leading with purpose. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much for your time, sir.
Have
I
a good
wish you
day.
all the best for the
Have a good
future.
day,
You
ma'am.
have a great day. Thank you. Bye.